I am here in the United States not because I wanted to immigrate, but because I fell in love. I thought that his book, Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? How Reginald Lewis Created a Billion-Dollar Business Empire, it was my responsibility to talk about it, to spread it so that people, especially African Americans, would read it and be inspired. So, for the past 30 years, I did that. December of 2022, I was turning 80. I said, I have to do it now. I was chapter 6 in Mr. Lewis' book. Now, I have several chapters in my book.
Thank you so much, everyone, for making the trek to Cerritos. You're choosing to spend it with us here at NaFAA to meet, of course, an icon, somebody who represents us Filipino-Americans. So thank you for joining us.
I am proud to say that Loida and I have been friends for over 65 years. Yeah. So I know a lot about her that none of you know. This afternoon, I'd like to say and share with you that one of the things that she's done, besides being the CEO and running a billion-dollar empire, as you all know and read about, is she's added another thing to her vast CV, curriculum vitae, so to speak. Now, she's a published author. And I'm proud to say that immediately after it launched, #1 in new book release, outnumbering the other new releases. And God darn it, she's Filipina.
Thank you very much, and all the NaFAA members for doing this and gathering all of our people today to launch my book for the first time here in California.
I'm telling you, this book is so interesting. It will appeal to you in many different ways.
You know, you're saying, oh, she's, this and that. Really, we started humbly. When Mr. Lewis and I got married, our apartment was on a 5th story, walk up, no elevator, supermarket. Mrs. Lewis, your check bounced. Although I was a lawyer in the Philippines, I was not admitted. In the United States, in New York, I worked as a law clerk. I wanted everyone to read the book so that you will know that you have powers that you never know. If a challenge comes before you, take it. Take it. Don't be scared. Just hold on to God and He will lift you up and you can walk as I did.
Miss Loida Lewis, this Filipina from Sorsogon in the Philippines, was the first Asian to pass the bar exam here in the US without going to law school in the US. But not only that, she actually sued the INS.
When we were coming to Hawaii after our honeymoon in Japan, the first problem I had was immigration. Why? Because, they'll ask you, I had a tourist visa, they'll ask you, how long will you stay? I said, permanently. I just got married. Patay! Don't need to say, that's it! Why? So I was sent, you all know this, you're sent to a separate room to be questioned. So in my mind, every Filipino will have a problem in immigration, so that's what I'm going to do. But I was not allowed to take the bar because I was a Filipino. And the requirement is you have to be an American citizen to take the bar. But in 1973, the United States Supreme Court said citizenship should not determine whether you're going to be a good lawyer or bad lawyer. So, 74, I applied. Now, why was I allowed to take the bar when I did not study in the United States? Because University of the Philippines, and there is one here who graduated from UP also. Anybody else? Yes? Okay, yes. UP beloved. All right. Because United States was a colony because the Philippines was a colony of the United States, in 1908, the law school copied all the laws of America, Constitution, administrative law, insurance law, so many except criminal law, which is based on Spain, and except civil law, which is based again on Spain. But everything else is American law. So I applied, I was allowed to take the bar. And in order to be sure that I will pass, I exiled my daughter to Baltimore. Meaning to say, my mother-in-law, I don't want to call her mother-in-law, my mother-in-law agreed to take care of my daughter then, Leslie, who was only 13 months, to go there so that I can study 15 hours a day if needed. But I did. I passed. So the first thing is that apply with immigration. There were 12 positions available. Apply. All right. 1 year later, I was not taken. Why? Galing ako, ah. I'm good. The only way for me to find out is to sue for discrimination on the basis of gender, national origin, and race. So it took them 2 years to call for a hearing. And at the hearing, I said, I'm high school, valedictorian. I am cum laude in college. I was number 7 in our graduating class in the College of Law. I was a member of the Law Review, okay? And I speak 3 languages, Tagalog, Filipino, of course, English, and Spanish. So the judge said, all right, let me see the other, it's called FS-171. That's the application form, okay? Immigration, INS, produce it. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5, 6 months, it was not produced. And it is a principle of law. If you are asked to produce an evidence, a document, and you don't produce it, that means it's against you. Okay, it's contrary to your interest. So the judge made a decision. Because they failed, I will make the decision. Probably, so Loida is this and that and this and that, and immigration not taking her in as one of the Attorney General. So she has been discriminated against. So they gave me 3 years back pay, 2 months vacation leave, and 1 month personal leave. Wow. So when your question, how did that happen? That's how it happened.
So I'd like you to share with us how to resolve those, I'd say cultural rather than personal clashes between us and our children who grew up here. Okay.
Yeah, that's a $64,000 question. Because I grew up, all of us are immigrants coming from the Philippines. And it is so difficult that you have a son or a daughter, I have 2 daughters, who answers you back. We all grew up. No, we cannot answer back our parents. Kung hindi, palo. Okay, so when they were growing up, because when they do something wrong, I would say, Sus Mariosep na batang ito, papaluin ko ikaw. And my daughter repeated that, in my accent perfectly. So what does that mean? Because of this dichotomy, my husband is American. So he would always say, Loida, you are the mother, she's the child. So that helped me a little bit, meaning to say, yes, they can be outspoken, but, 2 things that we, my husband and I, insisted, just 2 things. 1, respect your elders. That's African American, okay? You do not answer your parents, and do your work. Do your work means you're a student, study. Be the best that you can be, because your children will rise up to your expectation. So you don't tell them how stupid you are. They'll be stupid. Or they will think they'll be stupid. Okay? Just always be affirmative with the children. And also a rule, no television Monday to Thursday. Okay? For now, for those who have children, no devices. No, not cell phone until maybe when they're in high school. You have to really have sense, common sense, and also don't insist on don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Just 2 or maybe 3 things that you want to impress Okay? Well, as I said before, hard work. Do your work. Respect your elders. Thank you.
Your favorite chapter of the book?
My favorite chapter is that I was the one who proposed to Mr. Lewis. Everyone who has read my husband's book, when my book comes out, will buy my book. So it's marketing strategy. I call it brainwashing, but it's really transmission of values. Because my father, we would go to our veranda on the second floor and looks over the entire town. And then he begins. What are the 5 secrets of success? Yes. Number 1, hard work. Number 2, common sense. You look at what's going to happen when you are going to make a decision. Number 3 is resourcefulness. There is a problem, there is always a solution. The 4th is, he calls it thrift, but now it's called financial fluency. The last one, faith in God. And that's why I love this phrase. It's not original, but I always say it. Everything will be all right in the end. If it's not all right, it's not the end. I wanted to tell, especially women, that we can be successful, not to act like a man, but we can do things, anything that he can do, but we can do it differently. We don't have to be doing things that sometimes the hard-driving men do. Okay? We keep our femininity, our being Filipina, but they don't know that we are strong. All right? So, why should guys have all the fun? We can run billion-dollar companies if we want to.